Hello guys, Dan here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to paint Nomads Intruder. I will show you one very quick job. Actually I'm going to paint it over a Zenithal Highlight so that I actually don't need to put too much attention on the black parts of this model because this model have a lot of black armor and I want to skip working on that part too much, so I will show you like some kind of shortcut. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's do it. I will start by priming the model black. For this you can use the airbrush or the black spray from the can. It really doesn't matter. I'm using the airbrush in this case because outside is like 50 degrees now, so I cannot really spray outside, so that's why I'm using the airbrush. So just apply a few very thin coats with the airbrush or with the spray, just to have a good and even coat all around, and let it dry completely before you proceed to the next step. So we are going now to apply a Zenithal Highlight on our model. So how does actually Zenithal Highlight works is that you're going to pick up your white spray and then you're going to spray your model very lightly, but only from the top. So you will try to simulate how the lights fell down on the model from the top. So as you can see, I'm just spinning model in the circle and I'm spraying from the same angle from the top. As you can see, this is how my model looks like at the end. So I have like a gray layer of the lights on all the surfaces that are at the top. So we are going now to paint the rest of the model. First, I'm going to paint her red armor. For this, I'm going to use Scarlett blood paint. As you can see, since we are working over Zenithal Highlight, we can work straight over the black surface, which is actually now grayish. So the application of this color is really easy, and it still keeps its saturation. So just go and paint the armor in two very thin coats. Since the rest of her cloth armor is darker red, I chose black red, and then I painted so all the cloth parts of the armor and the armor on her gauntlets with this color. It is the same thing as I did it before. I painted it with two very thin coats, and I was actually really careful. I was doing this trying not to go anywhere else except all those armor panels that I'm painting, because I didn't want to mess with the job that we done with the sprays. Now I'm going to paint this rock that she's standing on. This is just completely random because the stone usually contains like all the possible colors in it, like blue, green, gray. So I only pick up like the remaining of the colors that I had on my wet palette from the previous paint jobs, and I was just slapping them randomly on this stone that she's standing on. Since our armor is really bright now because of Zenithal Highlight, I wanna tone everything down. So I'm going to wash the whole miniature with the dark tone. If you don't have dark tone, you can use Noon oil and just apply a very good wash on the whole miniature. So 100% wash everything with this, and when you will see when it gets dry, our miniature will look much darker. As you can see, after the wash is dried, this took a good like a half an hour for everything to dry properly. So the mini now looks much darker. So we going now to start highlighting and trying to bring that red to the previous tone because it went too dark. So I'm going to go back to pick up a Scarlet Blood, and now I'm going just to repaint the same areas that I painted before, but this time I'm going only to paint the surface areas. I'm not going to go inside the recesses. I'm going to leave all the recesses dark from the shade so that I can have proper shadows on my model. So just go very lightly and just paint like 80 to 90% of the previous surfaces. Now I'm going to apply our first highlight. I'm going to do that with mixing a little of Sunny Skin tone with Scarlet Blood. But this time I'm going to be focused only on the raised areas and the areas that are mostly exposed to the light from above. This is actually a really small highlight, so you cover like maybe like 40 to 50% of the total areas that you covered before. In the next step, we're going to apply the final highlight. For this, I'm going to mix a little of the Ivory in the previous mix just to have my highlight tone, and now I'm going to apply an edge highlight to all these armor panels. This is actually a really small highlight just to simulate like the reflections from the light source that's coming from above. And with that I will complete my work on this side of the red armor. Now I'm going to do completely same things with the darker red. As before, I will start with the black red just to return the saturation of that red because it became too dark and too desaturated from the wash. After I'm done with this stage, I'm going to start highlighting. For my first highlight, I'm going to actually mix 50% of the Scarlet Blood with black red. And with this mix, actually I'm going to cover like 80% of the previous area that I did, but I will avoid going inside the recesses because I want my shadows to be intact from the wash. So just carefully go around and highlight these little areas. And same as before, I'm going to add a little of the Ivory in the previous mix, and I'm going to use it as my edge highlight. So I'm going to edge highlight all the armor panels, and on the pans I'm going to highlight the folds. So this is going to be the smallest highlight, and just focus on the edges and draw very thin lines. I will also use pure Ivory to paint my LEDs because I want them to be very brighter, so I don't want to paint them over black. So first I'm going to paint all the LEDs with the Ivory, and then I will come back and repaint it in the color of my choice, which in this case is going to be blue-green, but you can do it up to your liking in any other color that you like. And just to put the highlight, I will pick up white and just make one single dot in the upper corner of these lights. To finish off with the black armor and the black parts of this model, I'm just going to pick up white, and I'm going to slowly go around and edge highlight all the sharp edges on this model. So whenever that is possible, I will use the side of my brush or just tip of my brush, and I'm going to trace all the edges and draw very thin lines. So this is the last thing and the only thing actually that we're going to do on the black armor, so we're going to skip all other steps, which means just relax, enjoy your hobby and do this slowly and properly, because this will finalize the look of the model and it will tie everything together in one coherency and everything will look great. And the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Nihilakh Oxide and I'm going to do some corrosion on the metal parts of this rock that she's standing on. And then I'm going to transfer this model to the base that I made before. And that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to wrap this little paint job here. I hope it helped you and you can use this trick just to skip painting the black parts, especially on the models that have the big parts of them that are going to stay black, so you can just speed up your paint job. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It will mean a lot to me. And if you have any comments and suggestions what would you like to see me doing in the future, please leave it in the comment section down below and I will try to do my best. This will be all for now. Stay safe, take care and see you soon. Bye bye.